for 2, the rains come back just in time that we had the first session as well that got completed. India had 2 blows to celebrate, 2 wickets to celebrate, that of the 2 openers. One going for 0, that was Zakir Hassan, and Shadman Islam scoring 24. Both those dismissals came courtesy AajTak. Shashwat, Siddharth and I will look forward to bringing you or giving you perspective about what we saw in this first couple of hours of play. Hopefully there is more match time to follow, more game time to follow. Things looking bleak as of now at the Green Park Stadium in Kanpur because the rains come back, the umbrellas are out, the pitch's been covered, the outfield's been covered, and this may well be more than a 40-minute scheduled break. As things stand, you were to see play start in 40 minutes time, but because the rain's there, maybe you're looking at a longer break over there. But 74 for 2, gents. How do we look at this? Whose session is it? Tilting more in India's favour as far as this pie is concerned, more towards Bangladesh, or it's right in the middle, 50-50 to both?
I feel that in this session, going in the dressing room at this point, definitely Bangladesh would be a happier side at this point. Clearly, because of the reason, the conditions that were there, they were the ones who were put into bat. We have to remember that also. It was India's choice to come and bowl first. And secondly, if there were steamer friendly conditions last time around, it was Bangladesh who went in with many more wickets. I don't exactly remember how many wickets. 3 wickets in the first session, and not so many runs to show. No, it was approximately exactly amount across about these many runs. So I think they have sort of played out that time, and the conditions have sort of gotten better. You saw when the sun sort of came out, it was getting easier to bat, and as such from the Pacers, there's not that sort of a bounce and that sort of difficulty. AajTak also, the wickets that he has gotten, that was because of inconsistent bounce. So as far as that is concerned, as of now, they would be sort of fancying their chances moving ahead in this test match.
Okay,
so you're giving the session to Bangladesh?
Yeah, the session. Yeah.
I feel it's a shared session because obviously Bangladesh came back well after losing those first 2 wickets, but then I think we also have to look at the number of times their batters beat the outside edge. You also really have to credit the Indian bowlers also, because sometimes you also have to see a couple of calls didn't really go your way. Obviously the Siraj one was a missed opportunity. India lost that review in that case, but in case of Bumrah, I think it was an umpire's call, so that decision obviously could have gone either way, and that's where I think Bangladesh proved to be a little lucky. So obviously I'm not taking anything away from the recovery that Mominul Haq and their skipper Najmul Hussain Shanto have made, but then I think we have to give credit to the Indian bowlers also for sticking to the right lengths and not really trying too many things around so as to give any room to the Bangladesh batters. And I feel that the score of 74 for 2, it could easily have been 74 for 4 had a couple of decisions maybe gone in India's favour. So still I think
which decision went against India?
The Bumrah one, I think it was an umpire's call one, na? So
no, but then that again, that is a luck thing that we are talking about. If it then the umpire, the AajTak also could have gone in favour of Bangladesh also, so it very well could have been 74 for 1, but that all are ifs and buts. We cannot go by that chances. And also you mentioned that many balls actually pass the outside edge of the Bangladesh side, but again I feel that is also something that in test cricket you see that with the Indian team also, that happens very frequently. I feel that they were even very well, some balls they were left really well, so I think that credit also goes to them. So I feel the decision in general of bowling first, I see again, I mentioned this during the toss also, I feel if it would have been some stronger opposition, you would not have gone with bowling first. You would have definitely batted first, seeing the conditions. Overhead conditions, you thought that you will run through
what was the expectation? Would the decision have been justified only if they were 4 down, 5 down?
Yeah.
That's
I don't
where
think so.
disagree.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
where I
yeah.
disagree.
I don't
No,
think
that
so.
no.
That's where I disagree.
No.
Because
No, what I'm trying to say. Even now, again, I'm saying even though this session, I am giving it to Bangladesh as a whole. I think India, because of the quality India has, somebody or the other, Jasprit Bumrah, you might just see him coming and picking up.
It's actually unfortunate that Jasprit Bumrah doesn't have a wicket to show
But
for.
Exactly.
but they
You
played
look
him
at-
with really
you-
too
no,
much
you-
caution.
You look at his first couple of
Yeah,
overs,
yeah,
look
yeah.
at the times that he beat the outside edge. It looked like he had the. It's just that one ball in which the batter's name was missing. Otherwise, just look at how close he was to beating the outside edge, to just finding the outside edge, and he almost got that wicket as well. Of course, Akashdeep got rid of the two openers after that, and credit to Bangladesh. You need that little bit of luck, and it's that one wicket here and there that sort of determines whose session it was. India, had they gotten those breakthroughs early on, let's say the first couple of overs itself from Jasprit Bumrah, maybe the complexion of this first session would have been very different. But even then, I think India will also take this. Again, these are not bowling friendly conditions.
Absolutely.
It's a match for a reason. You've had test matches drawn over a year. 5 test matches have been drawn over here, I think, of the 13 matches.
Yeah,
that we've
it's
seen
it's
so
not.
far.
So, but then
So-
that's the reason when
and
there is no
there's-
help for the bowlers, then you should not have decided to bowl first, right? Then if it's not, if they
But
put,
there- but there
No,
is
no,
a
no.
condition help for the
The
bowlers,
conditions
actually.
demanded.
no,
so.
then you should have run through the. See again,
But
test
again,
matches. Okay, if fourth innings
It's only
you
the
so
first session.
in
It's
the
only
fourth
that-
innings, then now in the fourth innings you will be the one trying to
You may
defend.
not be batting.
No, you may.
There may
Yeah,
not be a
you
fourth
again
innings.
exactly. That's why I'm saying because it's Bangladesh. That's why India has
Yeah, you
opted
played
to
the
bowl.
opposition.
Yeah.
You played the
If
opposition,
yeah, and then
simple as that.
it's not the conditions that you've gone in with 3 fast bowlers. You want you were
No, absolutely there
you were
are.
thinking about running through the Bangladeshi
But
batting at this
are you
point.
saying second session India cannot run through?
No, India can. That's because of the
And
quality
what
India
will you then
possesses,
say?
not
What will you
because.
then say? Will it then be quality? Will it then be conditions? Will it then be opposition?
That will be quality from the
You need
Indian
to decide
bowling.
on one
I'm
thing.
saying it will be quality from Indian bowling then.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying that. But again, if these weren't bowling friendly conditions, you should have batted first. Is what I'm trying to get to.
See, batting over here, maybe the expectation is that, as you saw in Chennai, progressively things became easier and you didn't want to bat here for this thing on day one.
No, why didn't you want to bat here? Because you don't have that much confidence in your batting then, because you saw what happened last time around.
Again, the conditions demand, the overhead conditions were such that, okay, I got to know from the local boy Kuldeep, I got to know from the curator that, okay, only the third day is when spinners sort of come in, or maybe the fourth day as
Till
well.
then, it's going to help the batters.
Till then, it's going to help the batters.
Then you should have batted first,
so
na?
that tells me why I didn't take the spinner with me.
Oh,
There has to be
acha,
concrete
okay.
reason. Okay, so
Then why did you bowl the spinner? See, why I'm trying to get there, because one team
How many
definitely.
overs did Bumrah?
Ashwin bowled 5 overs. Okay,
5
even
overs.
if
And
you know,
he was introduced before in
that's
Akashdeep.
absolutely fine. You know, you can always have that surprise element going on, because you know that Bangladesh batters would obviously have had an idea that India have 3 seamers and they are going to bowl primarily with the 3 seamers for the first 10-15 overs or so, and suddenly you bring in a surprise element in the form of Ashwin. So there is nothing wrong with that also.
No, there's nothing wrong. No, I'm not trying to say.
And also it
I'm
had
just
to
trying
happen,
to
right?
finding.
No, I'm just saying after the opening spell, after both Bumrah and Siraj were done the opening spell, you would have you anyway would have had to make this move, right? Or one of them would have had to go for a prolonged spell.
No. See, one by one. Firstly, what I'm trying to get is that choosing to bowl first at the toss was just. There could be just 2 reasons for that. First, either you thought that you'll just run through the the bowling,
I
or
don't understand
otherwise,
running through. I don't
or otherwise
understand
you
the
did
word
not have
running through.
confidence in your batting lineup,
How
because
often in the
you
first
saw
session
last
do you
time.
run through?
No, last time what you saw the last time you did not have that much confidence in your batting to play the Bangladeshi bowling lineup in these sessions, and you thought you could replicate that. But that did not happen. Even now, that's why I'm again and again saying it is Bangladesh. Even now you'll
I am in
bounce
fact
back in
pretty
this
sure
game.
that India weren't looking at 5 wickets maybe in the first session. Again, that's firstly a rare occurrence.
Yeah.
No matter what side that you're playing, Bangladesh, again, it would have been a phenomenal job. Also, I don't think the conditions also were such. Again, the cloud cover was there that would have aided the fast bowlers a little more than the spinners, who don't, as things stand, look like will be coming into play before day 3 that much. But what do you say? But you have to credit where credit is due, and yes, the batters batted well, but the bowlers did their job just as fine. It's not like you leaked a lot of runs. You just given away 70 odd runs, and that's fine. You'll take that.
Okay. I think in case of maybe Bangladesh openers, I think we have to see once again. I think it's once again proving to be a very weak element for them, because you look at the Chennai test also, they didn't really do well. Did get off to a start in the second innings though, there was a good partnership going on, but then I think India doing the right thing by making sure that you had the likes of Bumrah and Akashdeep bowling to both the left-handers from around the wicket, so that the ball could obviously be angled in, and obviously if there is any kind of seam movement, you can extract with the ball going away from the batters, and that's what I think Akashdeep to a great extent. But then what really left me a little amazed was that the kind of bounce that a certain Akashdeep was able to generate in comparison to both Bumrah and Siraj, who couldn't really get that steep bounce going.
No, even Akashdeep, I think just the odd ball sort of got that bounce, but the ball where he got the wicket, that stayed low to begin with. Also, the ball was staying low for Bumrah and Siraj also.
One?
The first ball that we saw, that
Yeah,
stayed
that
low,
is
and after that
but
also,
the wicket balls.
no, Akash, the one that stayed low, na, he was going on the LBW. Yeah,
I thought it hit on the knee roll.
that's why. No, it had just below the knee roll. It was a short pitch delivery. It sort of did not rise that much.
Okay. So I think that's for Bangladesh openers. But then I think what do we really have to say about Mohammad Siraj here? I think it's maybe it's been a case for the last good 7 to 8 months or so, that ever since that spell that he bowled in the second test against South Africa, wherein he took a good 6 or 7 wickets. I think he hasn't really been up to the mark as far as the consistency is there. He has performed well in patches, did well in the second test also against England after India, lost the opening test, and it was his spell only that brought India back into the series as far as that, 5-match tests against England, are concerned. So I think with Siraj, I feel that maybe it's obviously just the start of the second test, and let's hope that he goes on to take more wickets. But then with consistency missing, would you really see a kind of concern for the Indian team here?
See, one thing is established, that he definitely is your go-to guy as things stand after Jasprit Bumrah. Akashdeep's made a good start to his test career, but even then it's early days for him in this side. And if you talk about your second best bowler as things stand after Bumrah, it has to be him. There's nobody else who's fit and available that you can turn to. Of course, there would have been a Shami had he been available. So in that way, Siraj does have the confidence of the team. But is he delivering right now? Not quite, because I remember he was then dropped / rested in that series as well. He didn't play all the matches, the England series.
He was rested. That's what Gautam Gambhir said.
Exactly. So, no, but Gambhir...
No, Rahul Dravid.
Gambhir before this match, he said that in the England series we rested Siraj. Here it's going to be rotational.
Okay. So again, and there I think the rest also came from the fact that you needed to give him a break because of the non-stop cricket that he played, and it reflected that his bowling looked a bit insipid. He was a little wayward, lacked control. And the inconsistency has been plaguing him for a while now. Something that you saw maybe this morning as well, just a little streaky, allowed. It was the looseness from him that allowed Momin ul-Haq to settle down as well. A couple of very good shots from Momin ul-Haq, I would say. So he's just lacking consistency at the moment. Is there anything that he's doing horribly wrong? Is he not backing himself in terms of hitting the deck hard and all? I think the work ethic's pretty much the same. The consistency and the rhythms missing at the moment. But hopefully, the more that he plays, he's able to get it back. Again, not everyone's like Jasprit Bumrah, that you bring someone back after 3 months or after a 2-month break, and they hit the right spots right from the word go. So that's why Jasprit Bumrah is a rare talent. But just looking for more consistency right now, because he does time and again find the right channel. That's what we saw in Chennai as well. and today too there were a few balls that he found in the right channel, but again needs to be hitting that channel more frequently.
Okay.
And what we often tend to forget is that with batters, yeah, we do often talk about the fact that it's hard for them to switch formats. But for bowlers also, why we don't talk that much is because bowlers tend to just, for example, a Jasprit Bumrah gets that rest between series. That's because of the workload management. On the other hand, Siraj, because he's not given that much rest and because he's not even that prone to injuries as of now, he sort of plays all the formats. If we just have a look at that, so it's just about finding the right length and the right line in length. Here also today also, it's been either too full or it's been too short. So that has sort of not gone worked well for Siraj, but gradually as he'll play more test cricket and throughout the season in Chennai also he got his mojo back. Here also I think he'll sort of get that thing back for him, but according to me still I don't think there's anything I think the wicket in Kanpur it's not going to help somebody like a Siraj. Akashdeep still I think it's going to help him because he's still somebody who sort of plays around with the seam. Siraj is somebody who's more of hitting the deck hard and sort of playing with that thing with the pace and sort of his lines and length. So I think Siraj the wicket of firstly the conditions would the wicket specifically not suiting him that much, and also I would any day want a Mohammad Siraj in my team because I feel he's that X factor in that bowling. He's somebody who can sort of give me 3 to 4 wickets when he's like in his top, when he's actually in his top form and when he's absolutely breathing fire. So I would definitely, and I think that's the reason why he's been utilized in all formats by the Indian team also.
Yeah, absolutely. I think in case of Siraj, sometimes I feel that, and I've been feeling this thing from the past maybe 2-3 months or so, that sometimes an elongated break can really do good things for a bowler, and that's what I think Siraj is in desperate need of. See, let's be I think very honest about it. Siraj has been a workhorse for India, as Shashwat also rightly put it. He's actually the only pace bowler who has been playing consistently all formats. So that's where I feel, just to make sure that he gets his rhythm back, gets his maybe mind right also, and doesn't maybe try to mix up things a lot. It's good that he's probably given a break maybe in a couple of test matches against New Zealand, but then you also know that he's one of your premier fast bowlers, and whether you can afford to rest him at a crucial situation at considering how the World Test Championship points table is there. So I think this is where maybe the Indian team will have to take a call. But then going into the second session now, obviously the current visuals they show that the ground is pretty much covered, and maybe, who knows, maybe there's going to be another delayed start as far as the second session is concerned. But whenever we resume play, what do you think what could be the strategy for India? Do you go with the two seamers from both the ends, or you go with one pacer and one seamer, and also maybe bring in Ravindra Jadeja into the attack?
I doubt if both seamers will be in play simultaneously, because again the pitch just because the pitch doesn't seem to be assisting anybody right now. You saw that uneven bounce at the start, but after that it sort of stayed consistent, I would say. But the odd ball can stay low on this track. So maybe just to add some variety, I would say I will have an Ashwin bowl from one end. But do I see both spinners bowling at the same time? I doubt. I think there will be one fast bowler you will see bowl at one end, and then it will be Ashwin doing it at the other. Because if there's anything at all in this pitch, I think right now the overhead conditions do demand the requirement of a pacer. So, and that's exactly the reason why you opted to bowl as well over here, because it's a rare occurrence also that at the Green Park you win the toss and you opt to bowl first. So that you're able to extract whatever little juice there is in the pitch and make use of the overhead conditions. I think there'll be one fast bowler at one end and maybe Ashwin at the other.
Okay.
I think the same, and that you would have one fast bowler and one spinner, and I think that's why you needed a Kuldeep also in this wicket, because right now what the conditions are, a leg spinner could have extracted whatever he could have from this wicket. But yeah, Ashwin again, he's somebody who's a very
leg spinner, like
so a wrist spinner,
Chinaman,
it's a wrist spinner, yeah. So he would have extracted something out of this wicket, but then Ashwin is also somebody who can sort of play around with the crease. He can sort of change the angle, he can make some angle and sort of cause some problems for the batters. And I feel it's just a matter of time. The Bangladeshi batters will slip up at some point, and then you'll just see them falling one by one. So yeah.
But I think Bangladesh's best batting is yet to come.
Yeah.
You have Mushfiqur, Shakib, Litton, all Mehdi, although they couldn't really do well in the first test, but then they still have some of their best batters who are to come. But I think even I also somewhat agree with Harshit here that you would want to go with one pacer and one spinner from the other end, but just to maybe have that variety and just to bring that surprise element also, I would want to maybe try Jadeja for a couple of overs. Yes, that traditionally a slow left arm orthodox against two left-handed batters, may never, it's not really an ideal combination, but just to maybe have that element of surprise for a couple of overs. Maybe you can try and get Jadeja and see if he gets a couple of scalps.
Maybe Jadeja could be my go-to guy if nothing's sort of working out.
Exactly.
Because again, on this surface, at this stage, introducing a left arm off spinner to two left-handers, you're only making things easier. Ball's not going to turn. Step down the track. You make room for yourself. You can do anything. The balls, all you need to do is get bat to ball, and if you have a bit of risk-taking appetite, there are boundaries as well you can target. So that will only allow the Bangladesh batters, I think, to settle down. So maybe Jadeja again, if nothing's working out, let's say if I try out Bumrah in search of a breakthrough, Bumrah is also not able to get me anything, then maybe the fag end of the session I can ask Jadeja to bowl, but otherwise I think Jadeja will be the last bowler to bowl, I think, in this session.
Okay. Pawan, let's take a few comments. Priyanshu has a comment that, guys, who will be the third pacer in Border Gavaskar Trophy, Siraj or Akashdeep? I hope India bat really big in first innings. Okay, let's just take the question in two parts. So who will be your third pacer in BGT? I would go with Siraj, assuming Mohammad Shami is fit. Because any which ways, Siraj has the experience of, bowling in Australia, and that was the series from where you had the, making of Mohammad Siraj, the bowler.
Absolutely.
In his debut test. He was used as the first change bowler. Then in SCG, he was promoted because when he shared the new ball with Bumrah, and then at the Gaba, he was the leader of the attack. So I think that's where his journey started. So I would really, want to make sure that, he goes back to being India's best bowler in BGT, and obviously he has happy memories there. So why not just start afresh there? But then who would be your choices?
I'm also starting with Siraj ahead of Akashdeep. It's wonderful to have Akashdeep do as well as he's doing right now, and I know that in him is a bowler that I can prepare for the future and somebody I can turn to if in crisis. He doesn't look as raw as he actually is. Let's put it that way. So, and he reminds me a lot of Shami, because again, just that.
He isn't raw. I think he's played for 30-40 first class games. Akashdeep,
Must have.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, Siraj starts for me as well.
For me as well.
Okay. So, second part of the question is that I hope India bat really big in the first innings. Chasing here in fourth innings against Mehdi Hasan, Taijul could be tricky. Inconsistent bounce is there. I think inconsistent bounce was really a factor. So far it wasn't really that big of a threat, to be very honest, because the most of the deliveries that the pacers bowled and even the spinners bowled, I think they were considerate bounce, but then I'm not really sure if that's going to be the case, because wicket might just ease out, something that was obviously the case in the test against New Zealand that you played way back in 2021. Okay. Fit Monk has a comment. Shashwat, you want to take it?
I just kept my specs there before this.
Okay.
Pitman says, despite good amount of grass, why after few overs our pacers were not getting any swing or assistance, or Bangladesh eliminated our pace bowling much better?
No, there was no. Firstly, I don't see any grass there. I think the only grass there is it's sort of the dead grass that's there. It's not the grass that's going to hold on the wicket together. And swing again, I just seeing the wicket. That's why, according to me, at the toss also, I did not want to see three fast bowlers because swing. It's what was there to begin with was from the air. There was nothing from the pitch to extract from the fast bowlers, and bounce I wasn't expecting an inconsistent bounce, but even that was there. So that clearly goes against the fact of playing three fast bowlers on this
So you
wicket.
think the Indian team have heard, right?
Yeah.
Between the two.
Yeah. The one team that has definitely
But India
read the
can
best.
err and still win, you're saying?
Yeah, India will win it because again, it's about the quality of the two teams. Somebody you still know that somebody will still step up. You know, a Bumrah can come and change the game in one session.
This is a team that won in Pakistan, yeah? 2 test matches.
But you know, Pakistan cricket, Pakistan wickets.
Okay. Freaking Awesome has a comment that considering the pace bowling options India have, you cannot ignore Mohammad Siraj. Some are not happy with him, but at the moment he is your best third medium pacer. Obviously, you know, he is. It's just that, you know, the consistency is missing that we witnessed of Siraj in his first couple of years in international cricket. That's really the case that hasn't been on display ever since his heroics in the Asia Cup final against Sri Lanka. Like, they have been very inconsistent.
But I think a very big reason for that is because he's playing all three formats. Whenever you are going somewhere, you have Siraj on your side. So that happened. With batters also that happens. So we do not tend to think about that with bowlers because not everybody, and you cannot compare him to a Bumrah also.
Okay. Vaibhav Taragi has a comment that every time Ashwin or Jadeja won't rescue India, if Bangladesh scores somewhere close to 300 in first innings, then our top order would really have to step in.
That's true.
Okay.
In many ways, there's a bit of a parallel with the Bangladesh team that the Indian team also have. That the top order isn't delivering as much as you would like it to.
True. I think it's... Kamindu Mendes has hit his 5th test, and yes, you know, yesterday he became, I think, the only player in the history of like test cricket to score 8 consecutive, 50 plus scores in his first state test. The only player to have done so. And I think, Pawan, can we like scroll up? Okay, Sarat Chandra has a comment that what's the point of demeaning the Indian team's efforts by saying weaker oppositions? Okay. At the end, when you are playing at this level, all are equal. You will be the ones to criticize our team if we lose. I don't really think that there was a term used against Bangladesh that they are a weaker opposition. The only thing that I remember Shashwat saying is that there are more established teams than Bangladesh in Test cricket. So I don't really think that there is a term called a weaker opposition. It's just that the Bangladesh cricket team in general, as a test playing nation, they haven't really been consistent. Something maybe like in India or in Australia, or maybe few years or so. And obviously, if even if India, let's say goes on to lose this test match, they can always be like criticism, and it's not the first time that the India will be criticized if they obviously lose this test. It's happened previously also, and it's going to happen again in the future. So I don't think that there was anything that was commented made to demean the team. GGK has a very bold prediction that it's India versus Sri Lanka in WTC final. India will win the BGT. Yes, Sri Lanka, if they win this test against New Zealand, then there's a good chance that their fate of reaching the WTC final will still be in their own hands. But same will not be said about New Zealand, because then they'll have to make sure that they'll have to win all their remaining 6 test matches against India and England, 3 each against India and England. There, India is obviously going to be an away series, and New Zealand a home series.
Priyanshu is an interesting one. He says, where is Siddharth Vishwanathan? Is he sad seeing New Zealand lose or happy seeing Sri Lanka rise if you ask me, whatever little that I know the man, I think he'll be happy seeing Sri Lanka rise.
Absolutely. And he'll also be, you know, like singing that famous song also.
Yeah. He'll be doing
Yeah.
all sorts of things.
Fit Monk also has a question that, guys, do you think New Zealand would provide India any fight after looking at their performance in Sri Lanka? I think they do have good spinners and they've done well in India also. Ajas Patel, I think last time he took a 10 wicket call in Mumbai. But then I think New Zealand traditionally haven't really done well in the Asian conditions. They haven't really been able to give India a fight also. So maybe the trend might continue, but then anything can happen. While, you know, India's unbeaten record of, you know, 17 home series wins at home, you know, stays obviously intact. But then New Zealand on any given day, we have already established that, you know, they are a street smart team. They can obviously, you know, pull off those blinders even against the best.
True. Anyhow, play is about to resume. I think we saw some live visuals as well.
Yeah.
Rohit Sharma has taken to the field, so have the other Indian players. So enjoy the action. We'll also take a leave right now. We see you next in 2 hours time. Hopefully there's no rain. And yeah, let's meet at tea then.